Hello. If you are feeling frustrated because it looks like you are not getting your first international teaching job, I'm here to tell you don't give up yet. Even as of today, with over 5.5 years of international teaching experience and admirable qualifications and certifications, I still get rejections. But that is not what I'm going to talk about today. In this video, I'd like to tell you about how I got my first international teaching job from Ghana, and it took me 6 years. Let me tell you my story. I started applying for international teaching job around February 2013. At the time, I had just a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science, and obviously, I didn't get a job that year. But after observing so many job postings, sorry, the requirements always included a B.Ed or an M.Ed, anything related to education. Even at the time, I didn't know what B.Ed means and M.Ed means, so I researched and I realized that B.Ed means Bachelor of Education, and normally they need a B.Ed in the subject you intend teaching. I wanted to teach science back then, so they needed a B.Ed in science or an M.Ed in science, even better, or a PGCE, that is postgraduate diploma, or postgraduate certificate in education, or postgraduate diploma in education, that is PGDE. At the time, like I mentioned, I just had a BSc Environmental Science. I had no education training. So I told myself I wanted to teach internationally, so let me just go get an M.Ed. And there was one problem back then. I heard rumors that if you do not have an education training for your bachelor's, it will be difficult for you to get an M.Ed. But I didn't give up. I applied, I went for an interview, and I got enrolled in an M.Ed science program in one of the universities in Ghana in 2015, and I graduated in 2016-2017 academic year. So after getting the M.Ed, I knew I've checked the education element out of the list. Again, whenever I observed the job postings, I realized that this job postings, they needed teachers who are skilled in classroom management, pedagogical skills, and a whole lot of skills needed by the teacher in the 21st century. So I asked myself, how do I demonstrate these skills without these employers or potential employers not knowing me personally? So I enrolled in this PD courses on Coursera, Coursera.com. I took advantage of many of these free courses. And whenever I'm enrolled in a course or a program that I've not even completed yet, I put it in the CV and then tell them that, I'm still under training in this course or in this program. So it gives them an idea of a teacher who is committed to this career. So I was doing this and I was still applying for jobs. And yeah, I still didn't get it till 2019. So by 2019, I had done so many courses. And most of the courses, in fact, all the courses that I did, they were related to, content knowledge, the science that I wanted to teach, classroom management, pedagogical skills, edtech skills, communication, creating meaningful relationships with students. These are the PD courses that I did. So I would advise that if you've not done any of these things, or even if you've done that in the past, just make sure you add it to your CV, and, I'm very sure it will increase your chances of landing your first international teaching job. So I was doing that, and I realized that, yeah, these things will really help me. But there was still another problem. That is how my CV looked. My CV back then was, just a Word document with, the classic CV that we used to have back in the day. But I changed it. So I changed my CV look with, so many different templates, and eventually this template, in fact, this is the current CV I'm using. This template was the template I used back in 2019, which got me my interview, which eventually landed me my first international teaching job. So this is the template I used, and I made a video about this CV. Check the video description below. I'll drop the link there, and if you're interested, you can just watch, and then you can create a CV like this for yourself. So I made my CV this way, and obviously it attracted the employers back then, and I was called for an interview. Of course, when you go to the interview, you need to prepare. I prepared adequately for the interview, and I passed the interview. And afterwards, they asked me to do a demo lesson. So back then, when I did the demo lesson, I recorded with my phone and I edited the video. It's still on my YouTube. You can see the software I used to edit. The watermark is still on the video. It's still on my YouTube. I'll leave it in the link below. You go and watch it. So I did a demo lesson on the crashing can experiment to demonstrate that there's pressure in the air. So I did that. I uploaded it. On YouTube. Sent the school the links. They watched it, and after a few weeks, I got my first international teaching job. So, in the nutshell, this is what I like to tell you. To get your first international teaching job, you need to be highly qualified, and you need to be very consistent. In fact, I talked about the skills, the mindsets you need in my last video. So, if you've not watched my last video, check the video description below, and then you watch it. But if you have all these qualifications, these certifications, these professional development courses, and you've been still applying and not getting your first international teaching job, I would like to tell you that you should be flexible in the countries you apply the jobs to. But first, let me just tell you about some of the websites I used in applying for these jobs. With my first international teaching job, I applied on the school's website. This is what I did back then. I went to Google and typed international schools in Vietnam or Cambridge schools in Vietnam. So I went through their websites, their employment pages, and for the first school, I saw they needed a science teacher back then, and I applied for the job. But nowadays, you can use this website to apply for international teaching jobs. Scroll.com, tieonline.com, TES.com. I do not, advocate that much for TES because it is a free website, and normally these free websites, they get volumes of applications. But Scroll and TIE Online, they are paid subscriptions, and when you pay, you get tailored job description, jobs that will fit your qualifications, and not so many people will be able to afford the paid website. So if you squeeze and then you pay for it, you are somehow eliminating some of the your competitions. So yeah, that's it with the websites that you will use to apply for these jobs. You can get all these things checked, but timing is also very important. Most international schools, they start their recruitment between ending of September, early October to March or ending of February for positions that start in August the following year. So we are in December right now. Today is 26th December 2024, and teachers or positions that start in August 2025, most international schools, they are interviewing for teachers now. So I think this will give you an idea as to when you should apply for international teaching jobs. So basically, this is my story of how I got my first international teaching job. You need to be highly qualified in the subject area. Make sure you have the word education and the subject you intend teaching on the certificate you'll be using to apply for the job, because I've realized that will increase your chances of landing these jobs. And you do not give up. Make sure you do a lot of professional development courses that are tailored towards, being a very good teacher. Add it in your CV and make your CV very attractive. You can use different templates that can attract, potential employers. And you apply around this time, the dates that I give you between September to March for roles that start in August the following year. And just don't give up. Continue doing these things, and eventually, I'm very sure you will land your first international teaching job. I have this mindset that has been, keeping me going all this while. I always tell myself that I've gotten so many rejections, so many of them. I've gotten so many of them that it is not the next one that is going to make me give up. So I'm sure when you have this mentality, it can keep you going. If you found value in this video, I would appreciate you like, you subscribe, you share, and keep it locked. I'll see you in my next video. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.